Okay, so let's start off turning these exponents into fractions. 6/4 over 3 to the 1/4, z to the 2/4, y to the 1/4. And again, you don't have to do it this way, but I find that a number of people, it's easier to visualize why they need to put 3/4 and 2/4 and stuff like that in there. So with this approach, the idea is to rationalize the denominator. We want each of those items on the bottom to be to the power of 1. And so what would 3 have to be here in order for it to become 1? Well, 3/4, because 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4/4, or 1. Z, so we'll have z to the 2/4 plus another 2/4 is 4/4, and y to the 3/4. And of course, whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. Same exact thing. And now we can kind of approach this going to the second step. So on the bottom, we would have 3 to the 4/4, or 1, z to the 1 as well, y to the 1 as well. And then on the top, we can stop and say, okay, let's do everything in terms of fourths, because we're probably going to go back to that fourth root representation with a radical sign. So let's go in terms of fourths. We have x6 to the 1/4. We have 3 to the 1/4. We have z 2 to the 1/4. And we have y cubed to the 1/4. Sorry, I had to look at that. Okay, and so there we go. Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit. Let's put it back in this format, and we would have x to the 6. We would have 3 to the 3, which is 27. We would have z squared, and we would have y cubed. All right, and that's all over 3zy. Okay, now we do notice that there is an x in there, and it has an exponent greater than 4, so that means that we could pull out part of that. So we could write that as, let's just carry on over here, we could write that as x to the 4th root, because we know that. And there's nothing else in there that would be able to be broken down into a 4th root. So all the remainder would be the leftovers. So we used up 4 x's, so that means there's 2 left. We have the 27 in there. We have the z squared in there. We have the y3 in there. And all over, we'll just keep this, so make sure that we keep things organized. Okay, so that means the x is just an x there, 4th root, and x to the 4, so they cancel each other out. And then we have the 4th root of all that leftover stuff, and make more sense to bring the 27 to the front. X squared, might as well put the y next, and then the z squared, and finish that off. And that's all over 3zy. And there we go. That would make a good final answer.